So welcome to our summary, I guess. Sat in our back garden in the summer. It was a year ago that we took in our first game, our extra prelim game between Shepton Mallet and Andover New Street.
Yeah,
I
didn't
remember
go to that.
it was chucking it down with rain, not like now, absolutely hammering it down.
I remember thinking, should we actually film and bother, getting all the stuff out and talking on camera, or should we just put our coats on, put our hoods up and
Watch the game.
watch a game?
Well, it was never intended really up until about a week before to film matches and do interviews. We were just going to go. We're going to go there, watch a game and come back. But you got in touch with Shepton Mallet. They were really friendly.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I don't know what they were expecting. I think that when I got in touch with them, and they were really excited about us coming down. I think a day before, or the night before, I was actually really worried because I thought, well, we're going to be going to the game, we're going to be filming on our phones. We've not got any experience of interviewing or public speaker or anything like that. I thought, what have we got ourselves in for?
Well, it was your fault.
It was my fault, and that's why I was
wanted
worried.
to watch a game, but it ended up being great. I mean, I know Shepton Mallet didn't know what to expect, but neither did we really.
No.
But we could have asked for a nicer club to start off with.
They were lovely. They were really friendly. They welcomed us. I know you didn't go, Gareth, but we turned up, and it was raining, but we were made to feel part of the sort of match day.
Well, we were made to feel like Sky Sports.
We were made to feel like
even
Sky
if we weren't.
Sports. Yeah.
But it was great. They welcomed us, free entry to the game. They gave us a time. Both the managers, John and Craig, they were brilliant to us as well.
Yeah.
They gave up their time. Everyone gave their time for us.
One thing you didn't factor in was replays.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a draw on that first game.
No, well, I mean, I was expecting it could have been one possible outcome, but my brain didn't tick over and say, well, if it is a draw, that's Saturday. Tuesday,
I know.
You've got to go to Andover.
Yeah, but I thought at least it would be a week Tuesday, but it wasn't.
Oh, it was a few days.
It was a few days to go next. But I think that was our only 0-0 draw, wasn't it?
We had two replays, but I think that was the only 0-0.
Yeah.
What was the other replay?
The other replay was Hayes. Remember?
Oh, of course it was.
We got lost on the way there.
No. Oh, blimey. We didn't do bad with our sat navs, but when we didn't get lost at Hayes, we got lost at.
You did get lost at Hayes.
No,
we took the wrong turning off the motorway.
Oh yeah.
And we got lost at Dorking.
And we got lost at Dorking as well.
Go straight to saying. Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, Gah! Twice we got lost on the way to Dorking.
Neither of the times you got lost, I was there.
No, I know.
Let it be.
In fairness, in fairness, but I went to two games on my own, Andover New Street, the replay, and Peterborough. Peterborough was interesting because
got lost at Peterborough
as much as Peterborough were so welcoming, so nice, a great club. They gave us tickets as well. To draw them 3 times in a row at Peterborough. I was hoping for a couple of home draws.
The fact that you made it there though 3 times was showed your dedication.
Yeah, and you know what? Each game was bigger. Bristol Rovers, QPR, Man City. Each game was bigger, and I got tickets each time. So big. Thank you to Peterborough. Thank you to Shepton being our home club. But what was your favourite game?
I'd say I'm not sure about game. My favourite experience was probably Dorking. First Dorking. Freezing cold, but I did enjoy meeting everyone.
Yeah, do you know what? They didn't have to do anything for us that game, did they? Because there wasn't a game on that day, because we went down a couple of days before the FA Cup game just to carry on the experience, didn't we? And why was that, Rhys?
Well, I was in Tenby. It was my little boy's first birthday, so you can't really put football, but that was a great weekend. For me, I think it's going to be the preliminary round when we both went to Melksham.
Why is that? I enjoyed Melksham, in fairness, but why is that?
Well, for a number of reasons. I'd never been before, so I got to tick off Melksham. Another reason was because it was the first time that we got spotted by people who knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Um,
What were your away day diaries, boys?
Granted, it was only maybe 2 or 3 of the Shepton Mallet backroom staff, but to walk in somewhere and people recognise you, what you're doing, and they go, "Oh, you know, you're Jonny and Rhys."
Yeah.
I just felt like Gary Lineker on Match of the
Yeah.
Day.
That was great.
I walked in, I thought, you know what, we're the bee's knees.
Do you know what though? I liked at Melksham their stand, which in hindsight, looking back, it was new, it was fresh, it was nice.
Yeah, that
But
was my
looking
third
back,
point.
it was small.
It was a small ground, but let me tell you, for the step that they're in, which I believe is
nice.
only 1 step above Shepton Mallet,
Yeah.
they had a great stand, a lovely brand new stand, lovely bar at the top. Their pitch was perfect. They had car parking. They had the rugby pitch next door, and
Yeah.
they had about 3 training pitches. And like I said, for the level that they're at, that was just
good.
superb.
That was good.
And again, for our sort of visit every round sort of challenge, I never even really heard. I've heard of Melksham, never really looked into the football team. It's not a football team I really knew a lot about. So again, a favourite for me because I got to learn about them. You got to learn about the stadium.
But they made us feel welcome as well.
They did.
Free tickets again at Melksham, so thank you, Melksham, for that. And we were going to get an interview, but we were late to get in there. I only thought Melksham was an hour away.
There's a theme going here already. Late, lost. Yeah.
And I'm involved in all of them.
Yeah. But go on, what was yours?
I think my favourite was Dorking Hayes, because I think the welcome again was super. They were expecting us. They were super to us, Dorking. I don't have second clubs, but I'd be close to say if I had a second club, it would be Dorking or Shepton or something like that. But it was a great game as well, and they allowed us to do stuff that other clubs hadn't. So they allowed us on the pitch before the game to film the teams coming out onto the pitch, and actually that was one of the best tunnel views. Although the game away at Hayes was also a good tunnel view when they played Sutton, because Hayes were good to us. They gave us free tickets. I know we were ball sponsors for that. They gave us free tickets, but we were right by the tunnel, and we had a good aerial view of that as well. So the 2-2 draw between Dorking and Hayes was my favourite, I think.
You know what? I think I can pick out a moment from each of the rounds that we've been to. Every sort of game, there's been an incident, or there's been like an interview, or there's been a something going on. And I thought, you know what, this is peak football.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done. The challenge. That's what the challenge is all about.
Yeah.
Go not to sort of be like Match of the Day. I mentioned Gary Lineker earlier on, but not to sort of film the biggest clubs, the best clubs. Notice how none of us said that one of our favourite games. Final,
the league club,
semi-final, Chelsea, Liverpool. No disrespect to them, but we wanted to get down to the proper football.
Yeah.
The proper clubs, to use that word. And that's what I enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, last year we would have gone to Taunton, but we 2 years ago, sorry, we would have gone to Taunton, but we did make it to Taunton. This year we did see a Taunton game. They played Shepton, they beat Shepton Mallet, and that was the first drubbing really we saw.
8-1.
You went to that one, didn't you?
I was there.
Yeah.
On my very first trip.
Very first trip, you get 9 goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great game for a neutral, isn't it?
Yeah. But we were ball sponsors for that as well, I think, which is great. Good to get a new club, Taunton. And that culminated us in us going down to Taunton to do one of their podcasts later on in the year. So again, thank you, Taunton, for that, which was great. And then
Taunton was Weston
Supermare.
One of my favourite goals. Props to the captain, number 4. He got a great volley on the spin.
Volley. Super volley for
probably
goal
my favourite goal I've seen.
First time we also had players argue with the referee big time over the third goal. Taunton weren't happy with the third goal, which was really the killer.
Did it cross the line?
Well, do you know what?
The question still stands today, to be honest.
But I've got Western fans who messaged me to say it didn't, and that's Western fans, and they scored. So
it was interesting, actually, that game. We could see the difference between Shepton Mallet and Taunton. Not just because of the scoreline. I mean, there was a lot of goals, but the play, the link-up play, the passing, the vision, the tactics, it was all there, and you could see that there was definitely a gap. However, the Western game, even though they're not too far apart, the two clubs, there was still the gap between those two clubs was evident. And like I said, are they in the same league? I think they're in the same league, so technically they shouldn't have been, but that was the first game I really sort of sat up and thought, well, look, there's a gap with clubs here, ability-wise, there's another gap here, and that's when we could really see, as you went on up the rounds, the teams were entering, you could see the professionalism, you could see the difference.
Well, as an aside, quite nice trivia. All the teams we followed had reasonably good seasons.
They did
save,
actually.
of course, for Peterborough. Sorry, Peterborough.
Yeah.
But everyone else had quite the year.
Promotions or playoff, I think, most of them.
Taunton went up. Western were at the very least pushing for
playoffs.
It. Dorking went up.
Yeah.
Hayes made the playoffs.
Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers went up on the
what
last
a final day of the season.
Yeah.
So we followed some very successful clubs.
Did Liverpool do anything this year?
They did win the double, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
They didn't win the double, they won a double.
Yeah.
A double.
I guess, remember, Liverpool though will be known for the camera gate, the final, won't it? Running out of battery, running out of things in the final. Do you want to go and check the battery, by the way?
Yeah, I'm just going to go and check the battery.
We were only 15% at the minute, so I'll have a look. So yes, we did have camera issues at the final. Didn't really have camera issues anywhere else, but
we did have storage issues. You had storage issues at Hayes, if you remember.
Every single time. So I had to go out and spend money buying a. Oh no, that was for the
That's the
battery, wasn't
penalties.
it? Yeah. Oh my word. But I'll tell you when else we had a bit of a problem for the first time was Bristol Rovers when they played Sutton, because we had the sun right in our faces. But the annoying thing about that was one of the best seats we'd had. It was. You were literally front row, almost halfway line.
Great view
at Bristol Rovers.
And there was a few goals as well in there.
Yeah, and there was a great dive in there as well.
I'd like to make a point. So to any Bristol Rovers fan watching, I promise I will never shorthand refer to you as Bristol ever again.
That caused problems. That caused ructions.
Message received loud and clear.
It's
won't
important.
happen again.
Yeah,
it's really important. Yeah, it's really important. So
Sorry.
then when I said it, you went, but then when Bristol Rovers fans came on and mentioned it, you then realised.
Yeah, but there was that one against a few hundred people perhaps.
Yeah, but actually we were glad when we got Bristol Rovers. I got a soft spot for Bristol Rovers because Hayes had beaten Sutton, and we're watching a draw. And for all Sutton fans out there, and actually we made a good few friends with Sutton fans, actually, which was good. So over the period of time we made a good few friends with Sutton fans. I didn't want to travel again, having done Dorking twice in Sutton, and then suddenly the draw came up, Bristol Rovers.
Just across the bridge.
Just across the bridge.
Yeah. But that wasn't without its catastrophe, was it?
Mishaps.
Someone took the house keys with them.
Yeah, I took the car keys in my pocket and left my wife the car, but took the car keys, so we had to quickly turn around and
yeah, but
back.
we weren't just outside Cardiff, were we?
We were outside of
Bristol.
Newport.
Yeah, Newport. But that was the first league club we came across in Sutton after Hayes, wasn't it?
Sutton did well to stay up. They finished just outside playoffs, I think, didn't they?
No, they've done fantastic
they
this
did
year.
really well this year, Sutton.
Their first year in the league, of course, League Two. And they were actually knocking on the door for promotion. I believe they only missed out on the playoffs by a point.
Bristol Rovers, but no, that's because Bristol Rovers scored about 28 goals in the last game. I think that's what got Sutton out of it.
But that's another success story for Bristol Rovers. Well done to them.
Bounced straight back from after being relegated.
Yeah.
But actually, going back again, when Hayes played Sutton, I remember Hayes weren't being overjoyed at playing Sutton because they wanted a league club, which Sutton were, but they played Sutton so often that it was just like a league game for them.
Well, that's it. I mean, every team we went to were hoping for the league clubs, the big tie. But to be honest, because of our challenge, we were hoping to avoid all sort of big ties completely. I mean, the first incident we had was when Peterborough drew Man City.
Yeah. At that point, we were going to say, all right, we're with Man City to the end now.
I would have put money on it.
But yes, we were glad to avoid him. But Bristol Rovers, we were pleased to get that. And Bristol Rovers fans, thank you for giving us our most views on a video.
Yeah.
Nearly 1,000 views on that video, which
It's
we
unbelievable.
don't do it for views, but we do. But yeah, nearly 1,000 views on that. But it was good. We got home early there for Bristol. They beat Sutton. And then then it was
Peterborough then.
Peterborough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were really lucky actually because, of course, the extra preliminaries and I believe until you get to the first round proper, it's regionalised, north and
Yeah.
south. So if you're thinking of following the FA Cup yourself, I mean, unless you want to go on long trips, of course, it's important to look at the sort of north and south regionalised games.
Yeah.
And honestly, we didn't have any trouble really until, like I said, we got to the Man City, but we were only about 3 games away from the final then anyway.
Yeah.
Tickets wise, clubs wise, travel wise, it could have
You
been
were
a
quite
lot
lucky.
worse. We were quite lucky. I mean, Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Ipswich, because of course we then go east.
Even
Plymouth, we could have had a lot trickier
Yeah.
ties, and I know some people drew Chelsea in the third round, didn't they? And of course, then what happened is they had to follow Chelsea all the way to the
through.
final.
So they didn't get to see various clubs of various
Yeah.
rounds and whatever.
Well,
and
and ticket-wise, Chelsea are very well-supported clubs.
Absolutely,
To get tickets to that would have been
Well,
dreadful.
especially after the Abramovich catastrophe. No one, even Chelsea fans, couldn't
Well,
get
exactly.
tickets then, could they? But there was only a couple of clubs we followed once, wasn't there? Because they came in and they went out. So Sutton we watched twice: Hayes away and Bristol Rovers away.
Oh, yeah,
But like
actually.
Andover.
Well, that
We
was a
only watched
replay.
Andover. Oh, that was a replay. So we watched them
Melksham.
twice. Melksham we watched once. QPR we watched once.
Southampton.
Southampton we watched once.
I caught COVID after the Southampton game. That was
yeah,
that
thanks
was fun.
Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the video was out pretty quick because I had nothing else to do.
Actually, a really good friend of mine, Southampton fan living in Cardiff, managed to get us some tickets for that. So
Gave us hints for a good car park as well.
oh yeah, hints of good car park, really good old referee and friend of mine. So went down to watch Southampton. Man City took them apart, really, didn't they? At that point, I was hoping Southampton would win, but I'll tell you something about that Southampton game. We were watching that was a quarter-finals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were watching a quarter-finals draw, and in there was Southampton, Middlesbrough, Everton, Liverpool, of course, were in there. A lot of London clubs are in there. And there was one club, wasn't there, that was close to us, and that was Southampton.
So we were quite lucky to get it.
And we got it. And we got it. So we have been lucky in all of the games we played, I think, to get tickets and travel. How many miles do you say we travelled? Over 4,000?
I think it's about 4,000. I
It's
think
over 4,000.
we figured out that was about from here one way to Uganda.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So if you want to replicate the amount of journey we had, just drive from here to Uganda.
Head on to
and it's about the
Uganda.
same.
And I think I was trying to add up a couple of days ago how much money we spent. Tickets, we got a lot of free tickets in fairness, we got a lot of free tickets, so clubs were good to us. But tickets, petrol, food,
definitely.
programmes, I mean, blimey, when you go to Wembley and it's something like about 80 quid for a hot dog
Oh,
at
don't.
Wembley.
£8 a hot dog.
Yeah.
It was
good?
It was tasty and it was a big size hot dog, but £8. I mean, I didn't even want the onions on there.
But I reckon I think it worked out we spent something like about just over £1,000 when it came to petrol and the tickets we paid for.
Which is a lot of money, but I really enjoyed our challenge. I really enjoyed getting to see teams, like I mentioned earlier, that we never even knew existed, go to new grounds, and I'm looking forward to another season on the road. Really.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it took it out of me last year, all the travel and the tickets and getting time off work.
I think the aspect that I didn't enjoy, in a way, was having to follow the winners. So I know a lot of people that we met, thanks to My Road to Wembley, who helped us out with tickets to the final. A lot of people were following the FA Cup, but they were just following each round, so they wouldn't necessarily go and see the winners.
They just go to any game in the round.
They just go to any game.
Yeah.
And I think that, would I do that again? can you really say that you followed the FA Cup if you don't
think
follow
you
the
can.
winners?
I think you can, because my road to Wembley is based on every round, isn't it? And actually, a shout out to my road, because they're the ones that got us our final tickets, weren't they?
Thanks for the t-shirts.
Thanks for the t-shirts, and great t-shirts. But I think had it not been for them, we would have got final tickets. But also, I didn't realise how many people do the same thing as us.
Yeah.
I really didn't realise that it's a thing. You know, people do it, and I'd encourage anybody who's a football fan who hasn't got, you know, family commitments or whatever, and you're able to travel. You know, we're Cardiff City supporters, but we missed a number of City games to follow this, and I think it was better.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No, it was. The FA Cup has always been a fixture that we sort of overlook, isn't it? Whenever the new seasons come out, we kind of look at the FA Cup and think, oh, third round, we're not going to do very good, just ignore that weekend. But this has really, you know, made it exciting again. I think the tagline for the FA Cup is the magic of the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that certainly brought the magic back.
Well, I'll tell you what it did for me was, again, looking. I was really looking forward to seeing the cup draws. Whereas before, in the years gone by,
Wasn't really that
I
bothered.
wasn't that bothered in the cup draws. I'd see who Cardiff had drawn, and I wouldn't be that interested. But this year, we'd see who Cardiff had drawn. We'd see who, you know, the team we were playing, where they were, and the like. And we didn't have to have any overnight stays either, which I think was good. I almost did at Peterborough the third time.
And I don't think that we prioritised Cardiff at all over the FA Cup, apart from that one time we drew Liverpool. As you can see in the video, I actually went. We tried to do a little bit of a double video. Not quite sure how well it went. We had a bit of feedback, but only once I felt as though I had to go to Anfield. So I did, and had a great day.
Yeah, so we did. Look, Southampton, then we got to Wembley for the semi-final. I think at that point it wasn't about the match itself, but the experience. Different video, different type of video that you brought out, Gareth. Thanks for doing the videos. Change things around a little bit, and then the final as well.
The final was more about the build-up than the match itself, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hello there. Bet you weren't expecting this little bit of video on the end. So, in typical Away Day Diaries fashion, our storage ran out. You'd have thought we'd have learnt our lesson by now. Thankfully, you didn't miss too much. So the only other things that we spoke about that wasn't recorded included how the final was about more the experience and the match itself, you know, the build-up, all the fans, the day in London, that sort of thing, the merchandise. Still a great day, but yeah, I think the build-up was ended up being better than the match itself. So we also wanted to give some final thanks. So we wanted to start with Shepton Mallet for being our first club, for being so welcoming, and everything they've done for us. We wanted to say a quick thanks also to Hayes and Yedding for allowing us to be match ball sponsors. That was something to really be proud of. Wanted to say a quick thank you to Dorking Wanderers. There's too many people to name individually, but they did so much for us, and we will be very, very grateful for that. We'd also like to give shout outs to My Road to Wembley for, well, first and foremost for the tickets to the final, for the t-shirts, for organising the get-together in Box Park in Wembley. We were very honoured to be invited, and we just want to say big thanks to you guys also. We'd like to give a special shout out to a team that we did actually not follow on our journey. So that would be Flackwell Heath. It was a choice between, at the time, them and Weston-super-Mare. You know, obviously we would follow the winner. Weston-super-Mare ended up winning. But in the lead up to the match, fair play to the admin of Flackwell Heath's Instagram page. They plugged us pretty well. And we were actually hoping that Flackwell Heath would win because we all really wanted to go there. It's a shame it didn't happen. Maybe next time. So the future we talked about a little bit as well. The three of us all have three different ideas, well, more than three really, on what we want to do in the future. Some of them you may see, some of them you may not. We'll have to see how it goes, I guess. You will at the very least see our Instagram page, our Twitter page being active, even if there's no videos coming out. But yeah, just keep an eye out and you'll be seeing that. Wanted to just say thank you to everyone who's followed our journey, all the people who've watched the videos, liked them, left comments, subscribed to the channel, followed our Twitter page, followed our Instagram page. Thank you very, very much. And as I said in my last video, Away Day Diaries will return.